Hey, how's it going? Jay here. So we're gonna do our first project of the 2021 season. Even though it is late in the season, we haven't had any great weather or time to do some projects on Lady T here. So the first thing we're gonna do is these marker lights on the bumper is this side. I'll go over to the other side. So this one we put tape on, but they're both all cracked and probably original. So this one's got actually a little hole in it. Oh, just took off another piece. Anyway, so we're gonna replace these. Hopefully we got the right one. Alright, so these are the replacement ones that we bought. We got them off of eTrailer.com. Relatively cheap, under $10. I think it's like $5 or $6 a piece. I'll put a link in the description below so you can go take a look at them yourself. But hopefully it should be just a direct swap. A couple of wires there. It's got a little insulation foam. The only thing I'm gonna have to do is probably find some new screws. I don't want to use the same ones again. So we have two of these, and we're just gonna swap these. Hopefully it's not gonna take that long. I'm gonna go look for some new screws first. Alright, so I'm just going to take the screws out of this one so I can go look in my stash and see if I have anything that's comparable to these. It's pretty rusted in there. Alright, so these reflectors or marker lights are so rusted in there. They've been on probably since 1994. So I'm having a bit of trouble getting them out of there. They're so rusted in. There's a little nut on the back, so it's trying to awkward one hand on either side and turning it, and the screws are stripped. So I got this busted up a little bit. I think I should be able to take a hacksaw to the end of that and cut it off. I'm probably gonna have to do that on all four of the nuts and bolts there. Okay, well, I had to get the hacksaw blade out and use the adjustable pliers or wrench here, and pretty much had to cut the screws out, but I had to break the lens to get at the screws and push them out, or push them back in further enough to get the hacksaw blade behind it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and dig this out and see about getting the new one in there. This shouldn't be anything but, just stuck in there from old age. I didn't think this was going to take this long. Let me come back. Okay, well, that wasn't easy. Managed to get all the old one out, and I test fit the new one, and it fits in there perfectly. So this isn't an exact OEM replacement. Look at that, fits right in there. So I just got to find a couple of new bolts. Have enough to go all the way through to the other side. Perfect. So let's see if I can get a shot underneath so you can see what's going on under there. Alright, so here's what it looks like on the back side. You can see the new bolts come through. And if I can do this one-handed, something like that. This is the old wiring here. I went ahead already and cut the bulb off the end. So now I need to strip the ends of this and match up the positive and negative here on the new one, and see if it works. Probably cut off a little more than I should, but a little extra just to be safe. I got to take a little bit off on the new one too. Well, since I don't know which one is which, I'm just going to connect them up and then go turn the lights on. And if it works, they're in the right spot. If it doesn't work, I got to switch them. And I guess I lucked out on the first try. I don't know if you can't really tell with the daylight here, but it is on. So I'm gonna get these cleaned up, connect them together permanently, put some tape on them, and move on to the next one. I'm not really doing anything fancy here, so I just got them twisted together, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put some electrical tape on them and tuck them back into the protective plastic tube here. And I'm sure this is not the most professional way to do this, but remember, we are not professionals. We are amateur do-it-yourselfers, unless we really, really can't do it ourselves. You know, do your own research. Make sure you kind of know what you're doing before you get into it. Ask for help if you need it. Not necessarily ask us, but you know, friends, family, research online. You know, there's no need to rush down and give your money to somebody to do something if it's something that you think you can do yourself. Worst case scenario is you screw it up and you have to pay somebody to fix it for you. You know, we do a lot of stuff ourselves. We've taken the motorhome Lady T to places to have stuff done. We've had a lot of help from family. So it's all about what kind of resources you have and your confidence in doing things. I actually thought this would be a lot easier. And the easy part is putting the new one in. The hard part is getting those rusted bolts out of the other one. So hopefully this one lasts a while and the bulb doesn't keep popping out on us. And we won't have to replace it for another 25 years. So that's all taped up. I gotta fight to get it back into this plastic tube because it's a little bit bigger now. But we'll get that taken care of and then we'll move on to the other side. Okay, there it is. It's all taped up. So I taped up the two wires separately, taped them together, put them back into the protective tube, and then taped up the tube up to here. And I put some tape on the other side because it was fraying. And that's it. It's good to go. All right, we are done. So both of the new marker lights are in. It took a little longer than I expected. Of course, that's what you get with a 25-year-old rusted on bolts. Or, yeah, bolts. We'll call them bolts. Again, I had to break the old ones to get to the rusted on screws and then use a hacksaw to cut the nuts off the backside and pull them out. Anyway, it's in, it's done, It's ready to go. We were worried because they were cracked, and this one had a hole in it that with the hole it wouldn't pass inspection. So better just replace them both than one now and one later. Alright, so again, I'm going to put some links below. This is a DIY project. We're not professionals. Do your own research, blah 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 blah. We'll see you on the road.